of the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. My way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Bright, sunshiny day. About a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning, got up with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep, singing a sweet song, melody pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning, got up with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet song, melody pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry, don't worry about a thing.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle May, and I'm on the Board of Trustees and a licensed practitioner. Yay! All right, well, thank you for joining us this morning. We have lots going on. Everything that I share is also in the program that you received at the door. But this week is the continuation of Dr. Reverend Peggy Price's new, I was going to say, not really a workshop, it's really a class, full on, called Jesus for the New Thought Thinker. So we had a full house on Tuesday. It's going to be for the next 3 Tuesdays. However, this is the last time that you can jump in on the series. So if you'd like to join us, it is from 10 a.m. till noon on Tuesday. And again, for the next 3 Tuesdays, and it's $20 a class. And it's been really, really wonderful to learn about Jesus in the metaphysical sense and learn about him as a man and as the Christ. So come join us for that. And then Deborah Vandite, who's also here, if you can wave your hand, on Thursday evening, she's going to do a meditation evening that will start at 6:30 and last for an hour. That will be beautiful, deep meditation with music. And then next Sunday, right after service, is when we're going to have our monthly women's circle and the men's mindful treehouse. So plan on staying for that afterwards and bring snacks if you'd like to share. And then, I know I was like, but wait. There is more. There's lots more. And then Thursday, August 30th, we have Reverend Diane Decker, who's going to be doing the New Thought meet and greet on Christian D. Larson. And he was a huge influence on Ernest Holmes and the teachings. We don't hear about him a lot, so definitely come join us to learn more about him, because he really believed that we had this internal power that we can use to change our lives and how we can harness it and really bring success with the proper mindset. So come check it out with Dr. Well, not, yeah. I shouldn't apologize for that. Reverend Diane. And that's also going to be at 6:30 on Thursday the 30th. Then we'll have Spiritual Cinema at the end of the month. That's going to be Whale Rider. And then in September, we have got Flying Solo that's coming up. Ernest Holmes, the Now and Then, which is the official science of mind. It's an accredited class. It's a 10-week class. If you really want to delve into this philosophy, it's the best place to start. So that's going to be starting September 19th. And then we also have Kids and Art, and that is filling up fast. So if you know kids who want to be very fast, I heard a very fast behind us. So all of this, there's sign-up sheets on the information table in the foyer, and hopefully you also noticed our new perspective hanging on the wall. I know that the Malama team was sharing that as you come in. If you did not have a chance to see it, definitely check it out on your way out that Rebecca DeRuth did for us to help us move forward with our beautiful vision of the future. So, all right, well, thank you for your kind attention. Enjoy your service. And here's Reverend Patrick and Reverend Rita.
Mahalo. So if anybody says that we don't have spiritual tools here at Center for Spiritual Living, I guess you did not hear the announcements, but we'd be happy to do them again. So there you go. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. I'm all riled up this morning, so.
Uh-oh.
Riled up. Anyway, in a good
Fasten
way.
your seatbelts,
In a good way. In a
people.
good way. So let's take our peace candle first. Oh, yeah. And let's just take a moment to settle in to the presence and power of peace within each of us that's always there and always available. Knowing that as we do that, we actually lift consciousness in this world. So let's take a moment for peace. And so coming from this moment to the next and the next, always being in the now, knowing that peace is always available right where we are, that we can bring peace to every experience in our lives because it's ever available. And it is the truth of who we are. I know that and claim that and give gratitude for it and let it be so as we affirm. And so it is. Thank you.
Aloha, beautiful people.
I'm going to move it back.
Aloha. You going somewhere? So how y'all doing? Yeah, feels good. Energy here feels great.
So anyway, we practice one thing here and one thing only, and that is that God is in everything. Life is in everything. There is only life. Yesterday, we met with the Swami of the Hindu temple, Sadashivanatha Swami, and he greeted us and said, "Happy birthless day." He said, "You've never been born and you will never die."
Ooh.
Wow.
Possibilities,
So
man.
I want to pass that
Possibilities.
message, happy birthless day. And it is true. And we practice that in this teaching, that life is everywhere. The source is everywhere. And it is a continuity of life forever, ever expanding. And the more we can live our life from that place and use our minds in that way, the better life appears to us and the better life we experience. And I am grateful for that and grateful for you all being here today. Thank you. Yeah.
And I see there's a few people that I have not met before, and they're here for the first time. Would you like to just raise your hand just so I can kind of get, And then once again, there's William, whose philosophy I will share with you. Every moment is a brand new moment. So actually, everyone here is here for the very first time. But you're not wearing a shell necklace. But those who are, please just raise your hand for just 1 second. There you go. Okay, so, we have something very special. And don't worry, we're not going to pull you up and do all that ridiculous stuff. But there will be a dance recital after the, and you're the lead. So what I wanted to let you know is that we know something about you. And we would just like to share it with not only everyone here, but everyone on live stream too. So you ready for that? I think you are. You ready? You are magnificent. Yeah.
You already knew that.
That's right, man. Just surrender. Give it up. There's nothing more to do. And I'm going to let you know why we know that about you is because we have explored and went deeper and deeper and know that about ourselves. So shall we just all say it together? I am magnificent. And if you look in the back, wow, there's two. We look real professional now. And so we have Charles and Rob back there. And so what I know is that there's a bunch of people that are watching us right here and right now. So we want to be able to let them know who they are and how magnificent they are. So shall we?
You are magnificent.
Yes. And I promised to do a shout out. Betsy. Betsy Edelman. She's tuning
Give
in.
Betsy your love. She misses us.
Yes, she does. So there you go, and all the rest of you as well. Okay, so enough of that. Not just kidding. Okay, so here we are. So shall we give them? No? Give us? Why don't we tell everybody else who they are, right? Left, right, right. You're magnificent. I'll start with you. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. Oh my God, you're magnificent, and you are, and you are, and you are. It's like a spiritual bar in here. It's really great. So why don't we all get on our magnificent feet and have our opening song with Maria, Christina, and Luis.
That's for you. I have to give it to you now.
There we go.
I've been holding it for a long time.
We are eternal, we are boundless, born of infinite bliss consciousness. By the grace of love, we are eternal, we are boundless, we choose peace and happiness. By the grace of love, so let's surrender, knowing everything's gonna be alright. We come from and return to love. Let's all surrender, knowing everything's gonna be alright. We come from and return to love. Yeah, we come from and return to love.
And as we return to love in this moment, the place that is always filled with love, this moment called now, and we have surrendered, we have allowed ourselves to just be, to just let go and let love move through and as us. And I recognize this as the absolute truth of who each and every one of us is in this room and outside this room and in the cosmos and beyond the cosmos. It is the all that is all that needs no name. And as we continue to celebrate the truth of who we are, I just know that each and every one of our lives have come here for a specific reason, and that is to celebrate the truth of who and what we are. And that is good. That is love. That is the power of spirit moving through each and every one of us. So let's just celebrate. Let's just live within this place of gratitude. Bathe in this thing called love. Bathe and surrender from this place of love. And with such gratitude in my heart, just overflowing like a fountain of love, I just let it go. I let it be to that law of my being that always says what? Yes. It says what? Yes. And we let it go, we let it be, as together we say, and so it is.
We are eternal, we are boundless, born of infinite bliss consciousness. By the grace of love, we are eternal, we are boundless, we choose peace and happiness. By the grace of love, so let's surrender, knowing everything's gonna be alright. We come from and return to love. Let's all surrender, knowing everything's gonna be alright. We come from and return to love. Yeah, we come from and return to love. To love.
Good morning, everybody. Wonderful to see you, and those that don't know me, I'm Rob Jones. I'm a certified practitioner, and before I get started on the meditation, I just wanted to mention you did see my new co-pilot, Charles, back there, and so you can loosen your seatbelts because he's in good control. So I invite you, if you would like, to relax in your airplane seats. You have lots of leg room, and you can, if you would like, close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths to let all of the past float away, go away, and open up. To that space within where peace always resides, where love and God, whatever you want to call it, always resides there for you and me. And I have a little seed thought here. It's from Rumi. Rumi said, maybe you are searching among the branches for what only appears in the roots. Maybe you are searching among the branches for only what appears in the roots. searching among the branches for what only appears in the roots. And so you come back from your meditation for a landing. What I know is that spirit that resides in all of us is everywhere. There isn't a spot where God is not, and it's within us, with everything magnificent for our lives. It's in me, it's in everyone in this room, it's in everyone in the universe. And so what I know and I declare is that, as the title of the talks today about throwing me a lifeline, I know that the roots of the tree, from where source always comes from, flows up into the trunk and the branches and the leaves. And the leaves are our individualization of the tree of life. And it's also like an umbilical cord that's always attached forever, because that's where we always have gotten our support for life, for everything good, everything nourishing, everything exhilarating to go forth and produce more and more and more of this wonderful existence of ours. And in knowing this, I know that it's my acceptance that accepts this nourishment. And the more I want for my life, goes forth like the tree and blossoms, blooms, flowers with beautiful colors and scents and everything. And it's a tree of life that we all have. Whether it's sunshine or rain, it's all good. And so I say thank you, mahalo, for this manifestation that we as co-creators produce in our lives with spirit. And so I say, I release my word with grateful thanksgiving into the law that always says yes. Yes to our lives, yes to our manifestations, yes to magnificence. As we say together, and so it is.
Turn to your program. If you don't know the words, to peace like a river.
I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, and it flows like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for that wonderful quote, which I'm going to read again. Maybe you are searching among the branches for what only appears in the roots. Oof. That's good. Yeah, I think we do that a lot sometimes. So the talk title today is Throw Me a Line. And you can take that anywhere you want, but I know where I'm taking it. First of all, I want to read a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, so you know where I'm coming from. The great distinction between teachers is that one class speaks from within or from experience as parties and possessors of facts, and the other class from without as spectators merely or perhaps as acquainted with the fact on the evidence of third persons. Is it too wordy? You get it? It is of no use to preach to me from without. Jesus spoke from within. My soul believes beforehand that it ought to be so. All men stand continually in the expectation of the appearance of such a teacher. So when I went to acting school, I was always told, don't study from somebody that's not out in the field doing it, because you won't really, or hasn't really spent a lot of time currently out in the field doing it, or because you're not going to really find out about what it really is to be an actor. And you can't learn from anyone that hasn't experienced it. You can't learn anything if you haven't experienced it. And so you can't throw lines to people if you don't know they're true, because unless you've experienced it, you don't know that they're true. And I want to dedicate my talk today to a woman named Melissa Hart, who passed on Thursday. She was the lady that Patrick and I had the opportunity to marry to her husband, Chris, and they have some small children, and it was a really hard thing to digest. But she kept us abreast of what she was going through on Facebook. And God, I love Facebook for those reasons, that we get to be in contact with people that maybe we don't normally get to know. But she had such a powerful journey. She was very sick, and she had a very positive attitude about her life, not about, you know, what was occurring as much as how she was reacting to what was occurring. And her very last video that she posted was like the day before she passed on, and it was called Not Dead Yet. She had a great sense of humor. But in this video, she said, we're always at, she said, what I've learned from all this is that I'm always at choice. And she left us with, you are always at choice. You are always at choice, she said, because you're at choice at how you react to something, how you choose to think about it. And for her, she stopped thinking about what was occurring in her body as good or bad. She just started thinking about it as something that was happening. And she said, if I could just take the labels off things, if you could just take the labels off things and just look at them as experiences and just see where they take me. That's what she said, see where they take me. Those were the last things she basically said. I don't know what she said to her family after that, but the next day she was gone. But I really felt that, and I thought, she threw me a line by just telling me that I was always at choice, that I could take that and I could use it in my life. And I was coming from somebody that had experienced being in a very dark place and yet was able to live in the light. She always saw this is great. She always saw these orbs. They came to her when she was in times of distress, great distress. And she got a lot of comfort, and she always thought they were her angels. And the doctors told her, no, that's just the medications. And I'm thinking, what kind of line is that to throw to somebody but she didn't listen. She just said, you know what? They give me comfort. And so those orbs are with me, and they continue to be with me. And so that's the kind of person she was. And I got a lot out of that, and a lot out of the idea that we have to just be very careful what we say to people and how we make sure it's coming from what we know and that it's bringing the person back to themselves. Ernest Holmes wrote, the time will come. I posted this on Facebook, and I got a lot of, that's why I was all riled up. The time will come when we will let all our conversation be in heaven and refuse to talk about, read, or think about those things that ought not to be. But someone will say, should we refuse to look at sickness, poverty, and unhappiness? This is not what we are discussing. We will not refuse to help the helpless or lift up the fallen, but we will refuse to wallow in the mud because of our sympathies. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. I mean, this makes perfect sense to me. And what does he mean? Like all our conversations are going to be in heaven. I don't know about you, but I want my conversations to be in heaven. And I know that it's not easy to have. That's what I got back on Facebook. Oh, that's great rhetoric, but can you really practice it? Well, what's the alternative, guys? What do we get by being negative? What do we get by telling everybody what's going to go wrong? What do we get by saying the world's a mess? What do we get by it? So I'm going to write this guy back that wrote to me this morning. I'm going to ask him for his alternative, because Ernest Holmes once wrote that don't give somebody a God unless you can give them something like, don't give somebody a God unless you can give them a better one. So what's your better God that you're going to give if you want to tell somebody that they're not orbs, it's the medication and all this crap that people tell people. So sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm riled up. Because, thank you. I'm just saying, what's the alternative? I got to go back and look at that movie. What was it, Pollyanna? Because I'm accused of being a Pollyanna sometimes. And I'm not saying I don't have moments. I had a lot of moments this week. But then I have to go back and look at those moments and go, what do I need to know here? What's coming up to be healed? Because I don't want to walk through the world being negative. I want to be like Melissa, even in the depths of something like that she could just give so much wisdom and so much love. And when we met her, when we did their wedding, and she, at the time, she was just a young woman that was getting married and in love, and they were bringing two families like the Brady Bunch together. And I never felt more love in that room than that couple. They were just like, oh, you could feel it, because that's the way she lived her life. And she worked with autistic kids, which is another thing. And she said, her husband said, don't give anything, send flowers. If you want to give something for Melissa, give to the autism. So, so we teach that there's only one power. There's only one power. We don't teach like good and bad. We teach there's only one power. There's no evil power. There is only one power, and it is how we use it. If there were two powers, we would never be able to do anything in this world. We would never be able to create anything. We would just create chaos if there were two powers. There's only one power, and we're using it. We're using it. That's all we're doing all the time. And I think the place to start using it is in our conversations, to start throwing lines of encouragement. If I'm down, I want you to come up to me and say, you said to me and say, you look beautiful. That meant all the difference in the world. You don't even know. Just a smile to somebody could mean a lot at a time when things are dark. Does this mean that something's not going on in your life? Yeah, something could be going on in your life, but what are you going to do? There are solutions for it. If it's in Ernest Holmes writes, and I believe this because I've seen it happen in my life over and over, if it's in the deepest, darkest part of the world and it's yours, that information that you need to solve your problem, it's going to come to you. But it's not going to come to you if you don't open up the avenue for it to come to you. And the only place you can open up that avenue is in your mind, your thoughts, the way you're living your life. Open it up and let it come to you. And stop saying the opposite, that it's not coming, or this can't be solved, or, he did that, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm really emphatic about this. I look at Melissa and I go, if she could say that with what she was going through, and I know other people here that have gone through horrendous things that have still kept that hope and that love, and I don't know Melissa's journey. I don't know why she's gone right now. I don't know why she left her husband and her children and had to go on to her next expression. That's not in my business. But I do know she is perfect. She's whole. She's a spiritual woman, and I'm with the Swami. Happy birthless day. I want to live from that place. Happy birthless day. To know that life is always unfolding for our highest good. There's always some higher plan, and we're the ones that put this plan in place. We might think we didn't, but we did. And so if we could just know that everything that's coming to us is coming through us, and if we want to change what's coming to us, then we have to change what's coming through us. And the only place we can start that is by thinking differently. And you might say, you're just thinking. Well, then you got to think, and then you got to act act on it. You got to act on it before you see it. So I say, let our conversations be in heaven. And if you see me, and I look like, I get that look sometimes. It's called the Nona look. Really, I don't know where. I maybe came from Nona. Maybe they say we mimic the people we grew up with. But usually I think a lot, guys. My husband's like, what are you thinking? It's so loud. But I just ask that if you see me and I'm in a place, you think I might be in a place, don't tell me you think I'm in a place or, what's the matter with you, Rita, or, but just say something nice to me. No, when you say something nice to me, I'm going to know that you think I'm in a place. That's okay. And when you listen to me, but you don't have to give me a solution. Just know that the solution is there, because the solution is there. If it's in the deepest, darkest part of the world, it will come. It does come. And don't tell me, when I tell you about a hard time I'm having, and this is going for all of us, don't tell me about the hard time you're having, because I don't want to hear, that's not helping me any. That's what Ernest Holmes would call not good empathy and not good sympathy. It's just making it go. We're both going into the ditch together. Throw me a line. Throw me a line. And you know what? Sometimes things come to us, and I know this is true. They come to us because we need to hear them. We need to hear them. Somebody comes to us and says, I'm having a hard time about blah, 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 and it just happens to be the same thing we're thinking. Duh. Okay. We attract what we're thinking, and we just can't help it. Our whole world is being revealed to us by what we're thinking. The state of the world today is what we're thinking about it. We have to start thinking new. And I hope you all went out and voted yesterday. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands because I don't want to be disappointed. But I know it's important. That's one thing we can do. We can start voting. We can start paying attention. We can start being positive. I don't care. I'm going to have to go listen to talk to these people on Facebook that got to me this morning and told me I was, they said something like, well, Ernest Holmes took an aspirin. What are we supposed to do? And I was like, that wasn't even what I was talking about. And I don't even know if he took an aspirin, guys. I don't have the clue. Do you, Dr. Peggy?
He's got a line about an aspirin and a prayer.
Yeah, I know that, right. Yeah. A prayer, pill in the prayer. We believe in it all, But what does that have to do with anything? Anyway, I lost my train of thought. I'm just saying, let's just have good conversations and start with the conversation to ourselves, right? The conversations to ourselves is where it all starts. So I know we're all capable of it, and I know it's the only way we're going to make changes on this planet. So, yeah, even the trees are listening to us, guys. The ocean is listening to us. Everything is listening to us, and we're all listening to each other, right? So let's have good conversations. Namaste.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of co-creation. What we see will defy explanation. If you wanna view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know that compares with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. If you wanna view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything
The perfect song always. Thank you so much. Well, Miss Rita, I was thinking of something while Rita was up there. Yeah, how beautiful she looked for one. But then the second part of that is, isn't it interesting how what we were talking about earlier, so this isn't news to us too, but how those people in our lives, they get all of the airtime, the one or two, when also on those same feed lines on Facebook, they were talking about how I took a breath and because of what I heard and I'm at peace now. So we got 100 people saying, your words have laid, I'm at peace now. And then we have the one and they get the airtime. Have you ever been there? Have you ever? Yeah. And this isn't calling you out, but it is. But this is from a positive because we like this side of Rita. And here's the other thing that we've noticed, that whenever there's some vulnerability, she's like, getting all kinds of likes. Look at her, all human. What? Human, she goes, wow, everybody really likes it. Oh, why? Because we opened up a little bit about our pain? Think about it. Because we don't want that holier than now. And if anyone ever thinks of Rita and I as ever acting as holier than now, you have really had a state of amnesia when you've been in this center. Because there's not a bit of truth to it. We have been discussing this month about going deeper. Now you got me riled. Something new and different, right? So we've been talking about going deeper and into our consciousness and into the layers of enlightenment, right? And we love that feeling, right? So today, let's go ahead. Let's do what the world thinks we ought to do. Let's go into the layers of all the crap that's going on. Let's just take a moment because we sometimes go in there. Have you ever been there? A little spiral that goes down, and we don't want to do it. No one's casting any shame on here. Shame, I was just telling a group this week, shame is deadly. Shame is constantly telling you this, that you're a mistake. You ever I love it, Brene Brown says, about forgiveness, about guilt and shame. Guilt is, I stepped on your toe. I'm sorry. I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am a mistake. Wow, different feeling, right? So as we go deeper and deeper, okay, I'm going to really put it on the table today because I had the most wonderful conversation at Safeway where I do most of my counseling. And I just met someone and we were like talking about this idea. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect for today because I talk to people a lot and they say, how have you been? Well, the reason I haven't been there is let's get another thing clear since we're airing everything. When you see me and you haven't been here for a month or two, you don't have to tell me why you haven't been here. I'm not your father that's all mad at you. So if I say, how are you? That doesn't mean, why haven't you been at CSL Kauai? Okay, we got that one clear. So pass it on to the friends. So the second part is, I love this. How have you been? Oh my God, miserable. No, miserable. My life is going horrible. Out of money, out of friends. A woman just left me. Broke all the mirrors in my house. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But now I'm back. I'm back at CSL. That's really good and I'm thinking to myself, let's really look at this. I didn't want to come around because things have been really miserable. I didn't want to come around because, I've been in a really bad mood. Life has really taken a turn on me, so I don't want to go around any of that positive stuff while that's going on. So, because that would just be like radical. There is not a sign on this door, and it better not be on any of your individual doors that say, happy people only may enter. That's what we were talking about at Safeway. If there's ever a time in your life that you need to be in a space and atmosphere of love and support, it's when you're going through the stuff. It's when we can throw you a line And I want you to really hear it because I'm bouncing. I'm ready, Charles, ready to bounce, so film it. Because this is something that it has been going on for 5 years of our ministry. And it isn't meaning CSL. I'm not talking about if you're not here, you're not in the right place, which is actually true. But tell me, and I don't need any hands here, but really take a look at yourself for a moment. Take a look at all of us. And I said, oh my God, I found out that somebody was really having a hard time. And I said, wow, I wish they had reached out. And another thing I have to really, I want you to pass it on to the island as well. We are very enlightened, Rita and I, and the practitioner core, but we're not mind readers. That's for the psychics on the island. Mind readers, we're not. If something's going on in your life, you must reach out. Yeah, right? Yeah, I had this, I had that. I mean, I hear it so much. And you know what? I get it. But so what? I do get it. I've done it myself, especially since being a minister. God forbid I'd let anybody know that anything's going on in my spiritual life. But that's not vulnerability. That's not openness. That's not spirituality. Spirituality and empathy is I get in the dark with you because I have been in the dark with you and I'm able to sit there with you. Not turning on the lights, not God. There's not a place where God is not, which you don't really care about while you're sitting there suffering and going through despair. So I really want to get it clear because this is the only way to evolve. Exactly what Rita was talking about. We have so many opportunities. I was thinking when Michelle was up there, healing circles, meditation, inner child workshops. It goes on. And this isn't about saying, why haven't you been there? This is saying that you have tools here. You have tools out there. You have tools with one another. And there's just this feeling I get when people say to me, I just haven't been able to come because I've been feeling so bad. And if you ever know me to feel like I want to cry, it's then. It's then. Not because we want to get together and just go, my problem's bigger than your problem. It's not about that. It's about the opportunity for us to come together and with one another. Once we have told what's going on in our lives, it's no longer news, my friends. It's about solutions. Will you come to my neighborhood? You knew I couldn't go through this without talking about Mr. Rogers, because I'm going to tell you something. Give it up for Mr. Rogers, and even if you haven't... Man, he was a sneaky man. And I got to go on him right now because I saw the documentary. How many people saw the documentary? Oh, yeah. When it comes to DVD or Netflix or whatever it is, just watch it. Because, see, I never thought much of him. I just thought of him as kind of an odd fellow with that wore these sweaters and took off his shoes and put on tennis shoes and all that kind of stuff. But that's okay. But that isn't what he's about. I love this quote. I don't think anyone can grow unless he's loved exactly as he is now. Appreciated for what he is rather than what he will be. Now, if anybody was Mr. Positive, it was Mr. Rogers. And if I had known, I would not have made fun of him all those times and that I did. I'm not afraid to get out there and say it. Many did. Many people did not see the documentary because they thought of that image of him. But this is what I got from him. He was a mystic. He wasn't afraid to tackle problems, and he didn't tackle them saying, "Oh, this is wrong. He was just real with it." And what was so clever was all the parents, as they shoved their kids in front of the TV, then took off and did what they did. He was teaching them. He was teaching them. It was a beautiful moment. We were done with the film, and there was two people that we recognized. Well, one person we recognized, and she got up and she says, "This is what you two do." This is what you two do. And I went, oh, that's wonderful. He goes, I bet it'll be in your talk. Oh, how well you know me. Wow, Mr. Rogers. There was that, I heard it today on Deepak or Chopra, let's just call it like it is. My presence creates peace. My presence creates peace. And I thought, if that's all I did all throughout my day, was make sure that everywhere I stepped, I was creating peace. Well, first of all, things would slow down a bit. They would slow down a lot. And Mr. Rogers continues to teach us that love is the only force. That's what I got from him. And his big word is kindness. He said, what is success? Success is when you're kind. There's 3 steps to success. 1 is when you're kind. 2 is when you're kind. And 3 is when you're kind. Yeah. Kind. So, Chinese proverb, shall we jump there for a moment? Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. I remember someone in our class in the very beginning said, I love all this stuff you're talking about, but are you going to give me a poll and teach me how to do this? And that's the beauty of it, right? The tools. What are the tools? The tools are we start with ourselves. And we dare to be kind when you're not kind to me. Oh, I hate that one. Don't you? I have to, right? I have to be kind to you even though you're not kind to me. Now, I'm not going to live with you. I'm not going to, go out to lunch perhaps with you. But I got to be kind. I have to be that symbol of peace. And someone said, in theory that's easy, but in practice it's not. Yeah? What's your point? I said that to Rita. I said, the one question I never ask is, so what's your idea? I'm too positive. I'm trying to look at life with a different set of eyes. So what's yours? Well, and I think the reason it's said is because we are still sometimes, nobody in this room, but let them know out there, is that sometimes I think it's all about belief. That we believe that some things happen to us and then other things maybe happen through us. But there's always that 1 degree that says, that just happened. That just happened. Melissa, where are they at today? Where's that family at today? That family's experiencing incredible pain. But I know that Melissa would love me to walk in there and say, what do you need? What do you need right now? You certainly don't need me to tell you she's in a better place. You certainly don't need me to tell you that there's not a spot where God is not, because right now you may think God deserted the ship. But it doesn't make it so. It doesn't make it the truth. So I feel it, our feelings. I say, let's get in there and feel it. But let's let go of the storytelling. Storytelling. I get accused, I should say, that, don't go near Pat, don't tell him the story. He doesn't want to know the story. Yeah, I do. Once. I just want to hear it once so we can get busy feeling together. I don't think I've ever had these kind of crying stuff till I became a minister. And that might not be saying the best for those who are thinking of becoming one. But that's it. Let's stop the stories. I always say this, I got a story, let's tell the story, and I'm okay with that. But sometimes I've sat with people, and I've said it before, for an hour. And the stories are wonderful. But what are you feeling? I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm abandoned. I feel deserted. I feel like there is no God. And I'm really sick of your positive stuff. Because right now it feels awful. I said to someone, I love this. Are you lovable? And he stared at me for a moment. And it was a long moment, that awkward moment that goes, and said, no. And I say, thank you. Thank you for the honesty. Thank you for the courage to tell me where you're really at so we can really get down to business now. No, I'm not lovable. Not, oh, but you should be because you're really lovable, and I know you are because of everything, No. Thank you. Well, would you believe that I know you're lovable? Yeah, I can believe that. Well, let's start there. That's the kind of honesty, that's the kind of courage it takes to say no. But you're not going to convince me at the end of the day that there is something wrong with looking at life from a lit position, from a positive position. I've said it before. We do not have to apologize for wanting to see life in its fullest, in its totality. We do not have to do that. So here's all the tools. I was thinking, and I'll end with that, I wrote a blog today about our lifeguards here, right? And it was so metaphorical for me. And that's what we're all looking for. We want to be safe. We want to not drown. Let's get real with it. We don't want to drown. Sometimes we feel like we're drowning in the muck and mire of life. I get it. But there's something to remind you. There's lifeguards all around you that are trained, that look out there and say, yeah, you have fun. And go out there in the ocean. I'll keep an eye, a watchful eye, a guarding eye. And we have that. We have that lifeguard that lives within us, that came here with us. And it's not 9 to 5. It's 24/7. That spirit that lives within us, as us, guides us, if we let it. That beautiful lifeguard that is right there saying, and guess what? When we fall and we go out where we're not supposed to, hello, we go out where we're not supposed to, that lifeguard within doesn't say, well, that was sure stupid. You damn tourist. Oh, how revealing we were in that moment. We don't know. That lifeguard says, come here. Let me throw you a line. Guess what I care about right now? That you're safe and that you're sound. So what about Melissa? Let's talk that and end with that, or not quite end with that, but end with that saying, so where was the lifeline? Oh, you have no idea. And guess what? Neither do I. And here's the great news. No one's going to tell me that a lifeguard wasn't there for her last breath, that said, come on, baby, we're going on now. We got other waters we're going on now. Ooh, a party of orbs. Here we go. That lifeguard is right here loving us. We don't have to get it. It's not on a tower. It's not outside of ourselves. It's right here. So isn't that good news? It certainly is. So believe it or not, I'm just about done. I am so grateful for the opportunity to remind myself weekly and daily about who I am and what we're really all doing here. And I'm really urging, if you want to know more about how these tools work, Sundays are great, but we need to go beyond Sundays, yeah? So lots of stuff is happening. If something doesn't resonate to you, then don't go to it. But we have a foundation. I love that foundation class starting. And we can all be reminded of the foundations of our life. So treat yourself. It's not for me. You're not going to compliment Rita and Patrick if you take the class. I'm not going to, look how popular we are. We have 22 people. That's not how it works. Look how wonderful your life is because you've got some tools to work with. Look how wonderful life is because, I'm not interested in Jesus. Well, then don't go on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Who cares? It's about you. It's about me. It's about getting the lozenge when your throat is like, ah. No, it's not. What I'm saying is you have tools, you're not alone, and you have a lifeguard that lives within you. And if you don't get anything else out of that, you're going to have a beautiful day. I love you. Namaste.
A great day. So this is our time of giving, and we are so grateful.
Woo! What's going on over here?
We are grateful. Yeah, we are grateful for all the gifts that come to CSL Kauai. Totally, the center for 5 years is totally sustained on donations, and nobody's paying our way. We are all paying our way. So that is awesome to know that we're supported, and as we continue to grow into our vision. 2 years, guys. We'll be talking more about that later. But thank you for all the donations, and knowing that 10% of what you give us here goes out into the world too. So, mahalo. As we turn to our program and read the affirmation there.
We do. Lead us, Joel. No.
I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world.
And so it is.
It is. We're going to turn to your program if you want. We're going to sing this beautiful song by Dr. Reverend Karen.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. So grateful, I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful.
Well, what I know is I'm so grateful for these beautiful roots out here who have donated to the tree of CSL to grow and bloom and flourish and go out into the world. And so I say mahalo, 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 as we say together, and so it is.
Okay, do we have some children, George? All right.
Yes, we do. While they're coming up here, we emptied out the jar. And we counted, thanks to the wonderful board members here, Michelle, Deb, and Roseanne. And guess what our total is now?
$1,830.50. And that's with our tithe paid out. And we also opened a bank account. Oh my God, look. Oh, thank you, Beckham. Oh.
Is it on? Okay, today we did Ho Ho Pono Pono, and it's Ruby's turn.
It means, so you say to yourself, I'm sorry, then I love you, please forgive me, then thank you. And it's a forgiveness ritual or chant or something. And you just say it to yourself and ask for forgiveness.
Anyway, we gave her something that just agrees with the sense of a spiritual living. Alrighty? Internally.
Thank you. We love Ho'oponopono. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, George. Thank you, Beckham. I think he can't help himself. He's Mr. Rogers himself. Okay. I love it. All right. Is that it? Yeah. Thank you. So let's give them their affirmation.
Oh, yes.
Yes?
You ready?
Go. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. Oh, thank you. Let's send that out to all the children in the world. Yeah. So, oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the flowers.
And thank you, George. Thank you,
Thank you,
Janice.
George.
I know
Thank you,
Janice is
Janice.
here today, too.
All right. So, which practitioners are serving today? Please come forward. Thank you. Diane will be? Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. And I think we have Rob back at the phone. Okay,
Yes,
great.
absolutely.
Okay, so how do you utilize these people up here? Okay, so you got something going on in your life. It's being held there with a thought and a belief. So what their job is to find that belief and turn it around to the truth of who you really are. Because we are a belief. We are the believer, not the belief. And so their job is to separate the belief from the believer and treat the truth. And when they do that, they change the energy field. They change it. They direct it in the other direction. And if you're open and you're receptive to what that is, then you receive the blessing of that. And that's basically, in a nutshell, what spiritual mind treatment is. If you want something like deeper and that you want to really go into your story and all that, then you need to set up a session. But this is just a matter of saying, hey, this is what's going on in my life. I need to know the truth about it. And that's it. So take advantage of this beautiful gift that they are giving today. All right? Because they are consciousness on demand. No matter what's going on in their life, they have to be available for you. They have to put all that aside and be available for you. So really. Okay, so thank you for utilizing them. And I think that's all I have to say.
Throwing a line.
Yeah.
Throwing a line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we ready?
Yeah. All right, I think we're ready for a closing song.
Everyone want to stand and close out with this wonderful closing song?
Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Oh, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts are beating His word. Light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun. So let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Oh, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through.
And right now is that I'm grateful. I am grateful for this beautiful time we've had together and the lifting of consciousness that I know that we have done here today by just being here, by just having this conversation together, by knowing something different for our lives. So I know that whatever that it is manifested right here and right now, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful because of all the people that serve us today, that I know that we couldn't even be here if they weren't serving us. Patrick and I would be doing it all ourselves, and we don't want that. So I'm grateful to Michelle for her announcements. I'm grateful to the Malama team, Maureen, Deb, and Sue Wood. I'm grateful to Rob Jones, not just for live streaming, for being the practitioner today. I'm grateful for Jonathan on sound over there. I'm grateful for the hospitality team run by Ron Stover and everybody back there that's helping him. I'm grateful for Roseanne for enhancing the bookstore and bringing us the wisdom and knowing of New Thought. I'm grateful to Maria and Luis for the music. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to Charles, I forgot you. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you, Charles, for charging in. Charles the Charger for assisting today. And I'm grateful to Charles for being with our youth today. And to Donna and Star for helping with our collection today, and for everybody that's helped today. Mahalo, 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 and everyone online who's been watching and supports the center, and to all of you, mahalo. And I know that we just take this energy now and we bring it out into our lives, and we use it. It's important that we use it, and I know that we do and we can. And so I know that place within us is always there for us, no matter what is going on, and we get to call it up and use it, and use it, and use it. And so with that gratitude in my heart and knowing our lives are unfolding in all their perfection, I just take this word, I release it, I let it go, and we affirm together, and so it is.
Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Oh, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts are beating is one. Light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun. So let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Oh, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Oh, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through.